talking about pitch correction. We're talking about Autotune and Melodyne. There's the two that we're mostly focusing on. But there's other companies that make pitch correction. They all work basically the same way. So Raheem says, I love the song. Is that sarcasm? Is that sarcasm, Raheem? You must have been listening to this song like a million times at this point. And then Chino says, what would you say is a much better version of Autotune, Waves, Tune, or the Antares? So Autotune is Antares. Waves Tune is Waves Tune. They're different. They live inside the genre of pitch correction software. So just be aware that if you say Autotune, then really what you're talking about is the Antares plugin. Now, your question is, which one is better, Waves or Antares? Antares is better. Waves is pretty good. The one Isotope is pretty good. But Antares and Melodyne are companies that... Oh, it's not sarcasm, right? Oh, that's funny. So Antares and Melodyne or Celemony are companies that basically focus on making pitch correction software, and so it's going to show. They're really good. They're easy to use. They have a lot of great features, and they sound fantastic. Waves Tune is pretty good. It works. It does the job, but it's not like Waves is focused on it. They haven't really updated it for a while, I think. And besides just to like update it to make sure it works with different operating systems and stuff like that. But it's not like they're not spending a lot of like effort on Waves Tune. Same thing with Isotope's Nectar. They update it and it does pretty good. And then the Isotope Tune, whatever it's called, I forget what it's called. It works. It does the job to a point, but it's not nearly as good as Melodyne or Autotune from Antares. So with that out of the way that these work are slightly different. And I'm showing you the version of Autotune. There's two versions of Autotune, really. There's like the kind of pro big version of Autotune that does all the stuff and it can record stuff in it. It kind of works like Melodyne. Then there's also the kind of Autotune that we know from like T-Pain and like songs like 808s and Heartbreaks and stuff like that, is that Autotune is more of a plug-in kind of like real-time Autotune. Melodyne cannot work in real time. You have to record the audio into the plugin in order for it to work. Autotune can work in real time, or you can record the audio into the plugin. So we're going to be talking about those differences right now. Before we get into that, though, let's go to... you should definitely download Melodyne's free 30-day trial. It's great. Use the correct effect chain. Okay, so this works for Melodyne or for Autotune. I'm using the word Melodyne in here, but it works for Autotune or Melodyne. It doesn't really matter which one you're using. First of all, you have your audio on the track, and then you want to go into an EQ, and then the pitch correction software, and then the compressor, and then another EQ. The audio, and for Melodyne specifically, the audio is recorded into Melodyne after it is processed by the first EQ. So you want that first EQ to not really be doing a lot of stuff to the track. You want it to be really just doing a little bit, just cutting out that low end, right? We talked about that the other day. You should do all edits comping to the audio before. Okay, so apply heavy EQ compression after the Melodyne plugin. So this EQ here is just taking out the low end. And then you're going to go in and you're going to pitch correct it. And then you're going to add all your compression in your EQ. And the reason why you want to do it like this is because if you're doing a lot of heavy compression or heavy EQing, it's bringing certain frequencies up and making them louder, so it could confuse the pitch correction software. The pitch correction software is using frequencies to determine what the pitch is. And so if you go ahead and add a lot of heavy compression, or if you don't take out the low end, or you boost in some high end and stuff like that, it's possible that it could get confused about what your actual pitch is. So you want to clean up the audio to make it clean, and then hit that Melodyne, and then you want to make it sound compressed or whatever more. So after you've adjusted the audio in Melodyne, commit the track at the Melodyne plugin to turn the pitch correction into a new audio file. We're going to talk about that in a little bit here. So let's just go in here and take a look at this. So first of all, I've got the audio turned off. Let's go ahead and unmute that. So let's listen to this. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start from the... Okay, we have a lot of like effects going on here. Okay, so here's our vocal without anything. It's just the vocals on the track right there. Okay, and what I've done, let's go ahead and turn this Melodyne back on. And once the Melodyne is on, we can see, whoa. Oh, update. Yes. I know, but I don't want to update right now. Why did you do that? Quit and close. Yes. How many tabs do I have open? 2 windows? Whatever, I'm closing them. You know what? I haven't used this on this computer yet, so it might think I actually don't. Oh no, I'm not sure what the deal is. Okay, so anyway, here it is. Okay, so what we're hearing now is actually the Melodyne the Melodyne pitch correction here, because once you have this plugin on here and you record the audio into it, you're no longer hearing what's on the track. So if I go ahead and mute this, check this out. So we're hearing this one right here. So let's go ahead and just show you this real quick. Oh, we are in the key of, it's A and B and C. So it's in the key of like A, right? A minor. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take this Melodyne plugin off of here, no insert. I'm gonna put it back on. Melodyne, Auto, Mono. Okay, great. And we're gonna record it and I'm gonna show you how to do that. First things you do is you click this transfer button. And I just wanna say that this version that I'm using of Melodyne is Melodyne, I think it's version 4. So it's like, they just came out with version 5. Version 5 is dope. It's got some really cool features, but I don't work with vocals enough anymore, and I haven't been working on stuff as much. I might buy it, but I was kind of waiting for them to do it, like a sale on it, and they never did, so. Version 4 does the job also, but version 5 has some really cool extra features. Anyway, so I'm gonna go here to transfer, click on transfer. What this is gonna do is it's gonna record it from my track into Melodyne. Let me make sure I unmute it here. There we go. And I'm gonna hit play. And it just recorded that in. Monophonic, there we go. And now we can see this is what the notes are. We can see over here on the left-hand side, it shows us the notes. So I'm gonna go ahead and just for you know, so it's easier to see, I'm just gonna go ahead and mute this one so we know that it's not coming from here. And now in here, right, we can see it's in here. Now if I wanted to move these around, I can highlight them and I can drag them around. I can do different stuff with them. I can go over here and right, that's the right, and I can go ahead and double click on a note to kind of lock it into its center. It locks it into the center like that. Right, and this one here. And we can actually go ahead and cut these notes up and do some stuff to them in different places as well. Like we can go ahead and make changes to these. So I could go ahead and take this one and cut it right there, and you can see it's a little bit different from the beginning to the end. And I could take this and make it a totally different note. Yeah, let's do this. Let's actually go in here and make it, and let's cut it again. I'm gonna right click and grab my cut. Boom, boom, like that. right? And we can go ahead and mess with the timing here, the time tool. Let's see here. Timing, this one maybe? There we go. Hold on, I'm just trying to get in here, get in here. So insert Melodyne on the track, then record the audio, then afterwards record the audio into Melodyne. So no, Alon, I inserted Melodyne on the track. The audio was already in there, and then afterwards I recorded audio into Melodyne from the track. Because I'm not. This is definitely not me singing. That is for sure. I'm not this kind of a singer. I am not any kind of a singer. Where's my zoom tool? There we go. There we go. Got this one here, but why is it not grabbing it? Why am I? What am I doing wrong here? There we go. This one here, and I'm gonna just like this and drag this so it's a little bit more of a little bit smoother. Right, and maybe, you know, I probably what I would do is I'd make me undo this a few times and get back to where I cut it and cut it in a slightly different place, like here. And then pull this one up because it sounds like it's like, yeah. And I can double click it.
Are you my love?
Yeah, there we go. And then I go back here to my timing tool. There we go. And I can double click up here.
Are you my love?
And make it a little bit more smoother. So everyone's some kind of singer though. Thanks, Carl. I thought I meant that would be the procedure. So so right. No, not exactly, Alon. The procedure would be you record the audio first, and then you kick the singer out of the studio so they don't have to watch you do all this. And then you put Melodyne on the track, and then you record, you bounce the audio into the Melodyne plugin. That's the actual official order for all this stuff, is you record the audio first with the vocalist, you make them leave, tell them to go get some food, or, you know, they're off for the rest of the day, can go back tomorrow. And then you put Melodyne on here, record it into Melodyne, and then spend a bunch of time tweaking their audio. But actually, before you do the Melodyne part here, and it does say this in the notes, before you actually do the Melodyne part here, you want to do all the comping and edits and stuff to the audio before you pitch correct it. So before you pitch correct it, you're gonna do all your edits and comping and stuff like that. So make sure you comp stuff before you pitch correct it. All right. So that's basically like this. Now that's kind of like the overview of like Melodyne. Obviously, I mean, we don't really have time to get into a full super in-depth thing with Melodyne, but that's like the overview of Melodyne. Let's go ahead and put Autotune on here now. Now in Autotune, and I kind of just remembered also we have a thing at noon on Zoom that we have to be there for because somebody's coming in to talk to you today. Kathleen's coming in to talk to you today on Zoom at noon. So we have to kind of push this a little bit, but we can talk about this more on Zoom. But Autotune here is, come on, there it is. Hey, come on. This is we can use this to make it sound more kind of like robot-y. Okay, let me go ahead and solo this out. I'm going to mute the Autotune here. Let's listen to it with just the Melodyne. Melodyne sounds very natural.
Who are you? Who?
And then we can put the Autotune on here.
Who are you?
Hear how it's flipping?
Who are you, my love?
Right, it's flipping because I have it set up here for my retune speed is set to 0, like super, super fast. I have it set to the right scale. In this case, let's use A minor. And then classic mode, yep, turn that on. Tracking, set that all the way up. We want that to be all the way up like that. Humanize, no. Flex tune, no.
Who are you? Who are you, my love?
And you can hear now it's got that more auto-tune type of sound. It's like makes it kind of fall and step through different things when you play that. Now with auto-tune and Melodyne, you can see they're very different. This one's real-time. This is auto-tune real-time advanced. This one is what you would use if you want to get that kind of, like I said, that kind of T-Pain, that auto-tune sounding sound. To me, it has a very distinct sound to it. Whereas Melodyne is what you would use when you want things to sound a little bit more natural. And then what we can do is we can actually use Melodyne to get more harmonies going on. So let's say that vocalist didn't record any harmonies when they came in. Let's use Melodyne here to get some harmonies. Right, and here let's put this, let's go in here and check out there we go. So I can use Melodyne, and instead of using the original pitches and just tuning them up, I actually pitch shift them up a little bit. Like this. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the auto-tune here because it's driving me nuts.
Who are you? Who are you, my love?
Now you can hear that if I have this soloed out by itself, it sounds horrible. But once we put all these reverbs and stuff on here and we bury it in the mix a little bit, yes, it's gonna sound really cool actually. So the original without the harmony sounds like this. Right, and then this one here with the harmony. Right, nice little thing in the background there. Sounds pretty cool back in the background. I forgot that I still have this one Melodyne thing here, still going up at the end here, which is kind of weird, but so that's like a really quick overview on Melodyne and Autotune. What we need to do though is we need to actually move over to Zoom because I forgot we have an appointment there. So I'm going to stop the recording.